Hi, this is Melissa, your Free Range Psychic. Happy Valentine's Day. It's February the 14th, 2021. Oh my God. It's like being hit by a bomb or something yesterday, or just the whole week. It's so excruciating watching that impeachment trial and knowing pretty much that it wasn't going to be successful in terms of getting three-quarters of the Senate to convict Trump. That would have been a miracle. And I honestly believe that the fix was in. I don't believe that the coup would have taken place if there wasn't a certainty at that time that a majority of the Republicans were not going to back him up. Just think about that. So people were very disappointed. People were angry that witnesses weren't called. Although, my God, the House managers were amazing. That Stacey Plaskett and the other managers, beautiful. I was so proud to be a Democrat, proud to be an American watching them. And then in contrast, terrible Trump attorneys that they were taken out of a Disney animated movie. Like the evil villains, they reminded me of that. They were so bad. And people were upset that we didn't get witnesses. But I just want to say about that is that at the time, they did manage to get the testimony of the person they wanted to put into the records. And they realized that the Republicans were going to make it impossible for them. Remember, we still need to get Merrick Garland in. We still need to have other key members of Biden's cabinet confirmed. And this coup attempt only happened on January 6th. It's only February 14th. There really hasn't been that much time to get everything together. I just hated the Vandersheen. He was so mean. You House managers, you just didn't do your research. Yet he couldn't even remember the name of the Republican Secretary of State. He obviously did no research. He was so mean. He was so Trumpian. He was awful. But I see the victory in the impeachment. We got the impeachment through, even though McConnell blocked us from being able to impeach in the Senate or have that trial before Trump was out of office. We managed to get a majority of the Senate to convict. It's almost impossible to get 67 members of Congress in a bipartisan way to convict. I don't think it's ever been done before. But we got 7 Republicans to come over to our side. And he was, in my eyes, found guilty. Majority of the Senate voted that he was guilty. And McConnell, oh my God, McConnell going off on him. He's, oh my God. It's like, yeah, he voted on a technicality to acquit, but then he sounded like one of the House managers. I remember listening to that yesterday and going, what world am I in? What just happened here? What is McConnell saying? Although he needed to say it, even if it was for his own political motives or benefit. But I wanted to let people know that the investigations are not over. They're just going to start beginning, even federal ones, my guides say. And we are going to see witnesses, but these will be in criminal trials. And then Trump has, voter fraud in Georgia coming up, and I think real estate trials. This is just the beginning. He's going to be in court for the rest of his foreseeable life, I think. So instead of reading on the impeachment, I decided to do another past life reading. This one came about spontaneously. I wasn't really thinking about doing it, but I was asking my guides if a lot of the people involved in the insurrection were actually reincarnated from the Civil War. Just curious. It just seemed to me that it may be so. And then I kind of wondered, is anybody from that time in government now? My guide said yes, and they led me to Robert E. Lee being the last incarnation before this one of Josh Hawley. And I kind of went, no way, that's crazy. But then I started looking at their photographs, comparing them side by side, and I think they have a lot of things in common. I don't know why that is, that especially near incarnations, people look very similar. Their eyes, that I understand, the soul, or lack of. You can see in the eyes, but the facial features. So you let me know what you think, okay? I'm not saying this is written in stone. This is just something my guides led me to. And then I got excited about doing a reading on it. I am not going to go into the details of their lives. I am so sorry. Last week I got so many details wrong about Kamala Harris. She has a stepdaughter and a stepson, not two stepdaughters. And this is her first marriage, her husband's second, so on and so forth. And it was Mercury retrograde then. It's still Mercury retrograde now. So I think you can go ahead and research Josh Hawley and Robert E. Lee, and let me know. You please put your comments below and discuss. I'm just going to go ahead and do the reading. Although I can say, we all know, right, that Robert E. Lee was a Confederate general. And Josh Hawley is also another Confederate general. No, he's a senator from Missouri, because he's really not from Missouri. I'm going to continue to get things wrong, by the way. That's just going to happen. But I don't mind you letting me know. I really don't. And I can't go back and correct these videos without having to repost them. So it's almost like making a new video. It's just, I haven't found out yet how to do that, do the corrections after I've made these. So please bear with me here. And I apologize in advance. I'm using the Ciro Marchetti Gilded Tarot. And there is an oracle card for us at the end of the reading. That card, somebody who is a subscriber of this channel sent me this beautiful deck. She sent me others, and I want to thank her. She knows who she is. This one is Whispers of Love, and it's by Angela Hartfield with illustrations by Josephine Hall. I've never used this deck on this show. It's really wonderful. So the subject card is the Tower. When I do past life readings, these readings are finding the connection in both lives of the incarnation and the reincarnation, and also usually they tell you where one person's left off and where another person's taking over, or another person meaning the reincarnation of the soul. My guides say that this is both overly ambitious, leaders of armies, leaders of insurrections, whose efforts upend in catastrophic failure, with many casualties. They're both ill-tempered narcissists and white supremacists. Pride goeth before a fall. Maybe that would come in there too. Both extremely arrogant to the point where they put others in danger. Above is Five of Swords. You know what this reminds me of? The two pictures that I included. One is General Lee on his horse, and he's calling his soldiers to battle. And then this is Josh Hawley with his infamous now fist sign or fist symbol, where he's giving a nod to his Trump army before they go off on their coup. And that picture paints 1,000 words. And I think they are all of complicity and, urging them on. You go do this thing that we've planned, that we brought you in here for to do. Go for it. In the recent past, Ace of Swords, my guides say this is a declaration of war. So for Robert E. Lee, this would be declaring war on the Union. And for Hawley, it would be declaring war on the Union. To take over the democracy, put an end to our democracy, and install a fascist coup. Below, King of Swords. This is both of these men being extremely arrogant, extremely stubborn, intransigent, cold, detached, believing that they are both generals in a righteous army that is going to bring in a higher order. And this reminds me very much of Josh Hawley with his feet on apparently on a desk during the impeachment trials, doodling, not paying any attention because he can't be bothered. And one thing that I will say that I did do research, by the way, even though I'm not bringing a lot of it up. One of his students, when he was teaching in London, said that they called him a fascist then. he was the same, or he's just become more of what he was when he was younger. So this card is the near future. So really what my guides tell me is this, it symbolizes the end of Lee's life, and then this is what's coming for Hawley. Well, yeah, death. I mean, Lee died, but it's really catastrophe. I mean, he lost. He lost against Ulysses S. Grant. He was a brilliant general, and he was a ruthless general, but in the end, he apparently overcalculated. He sent a lot of people to their deaths needlessly. He used up a lot of the human resource of the army, and his efforts ended in defeat. So that's Lee. We know that in history. Hawley, I guess this is coming for him. Well, Biden won, and trials are going to begin. I don't believe that Hawley's going to be able to slink away into the background. I don't believe he's going to reemerge victoriously with Trump to have a successful coup. I think, and remember, death has come in for all of these people involved in Trump. And remember that book, Everything Trump Touches Dies. This is Hawley too. Hawley's career, Hawley's ambitions. I do believe that there is going to be some serious charges brought up against this man. The clarifying card is the Knight of Swords. The general, right? Robert E. Lee on his horse, calling his troops to war and galloping off, leading the way. And this is Hawley too. Again, similar to the Five of Swords, being a general in the Trump army and being looked on as a general because he's a senator. And he is devoted to Trump and Trumpism, but he's also got his own ambitions. And I don't know if Lee had an ambition to be president or not, but definitely Hawley does. So he's also off on his own, his own mission. He's got his own battles to fight, but all in the name right now of Trumpism. The clarifying card, no, not the, I'm sorry. The outcome card is justice. My guides say that there's more justice to come. And what I was talking about before, investigations on Hawley, light is going to be shown on his misdeeds and it's going to bring in his political death. I'm not going to say whether he's going to go to prison or not. I don't think I even asked, but it's going to be pretty serious for him, and it may end up that way. Let me ask my guides, since I do have my pendulum here. I don't know if it's going to be prison, but it is going to end his career. He will be seen in history as one of the worst traitors to our country. And that's saying something, because there's a lot of them that can also be called that. But his role was extremely, they're saying, egregious. And we're going to find it out. We're going to find it out. So my past life readings are not written in stone. This is just what I hear from my guides, or I think I hear from my guides. You guys tell me what you think, please. Let's get on to our oracle card. The card that's chosen for us today. Oh, by the way, this is the back of these cards. It's so pretty. The only thing that is real is love. And that is the card that is chosen for us today. On the bottom it says, shift your focus back to love. You may have been conditioned to dwell on problems. It's important to remember that the true reality is love. Choose to take a deep breath and focus on what is true. Negativity will disappear when you affirm, everything is okay when I choose love. There are many things you can do to shift into a more loving flow. Work at having healthy, encouraging conversations with yourself and others. Try to squash any negative inner dialogue. And notice the positive aspects and people in your life. Be realistic about what's going on in your life. Yes, love is real, but there is sadness, depression, doubt, worry, and anger. This card is about finding balance in your life. So the challenging times are not overwhelming, and you're able to remember that love is at the core of everything. The only thing that is real is love. At this point, I want to remind people I'm available for personal readings. I read past life, anything in the present, including the past and future. I am a medium, and I can help you connect with those who've passed over. Also, I love to introduce you to your guardian angels. I left my information below in the description, and also if you hang on for the musical interlude, there's a title card with my information at the end. You guys hang in there. Take time to regroup, to do some self-care, because we've got 2022 to contend with now. We've got to be in that same mindset that got us the impossible, got Biden in and Kamala Harris as president and vice president. Oh my God. Congratulate us all. That was an incredible feat. We are capable of great things. So we just got to continue. This is a big fight. We knew it was a big fight going in, but one election does not resolve everything. So we have to look to the next one. We have to start now. But we have some time now to just take breaths and do self-care, get ourselves together, and then go for it into 2022. Think about it. Think about having a majority of Democrats, not just hanging by a thread in the Senate, and more Democrats in the House backing Joe Biden up and Kamala Harris with their agendas. Oh, so many wonderful things can happen. So we got to do it. You guys take care. Have a wonderful Valentine's Day. I will be with you next week, sending you my love. Okay? Bye-bye.